Hey, ich bin...
Hello, Crypto Challengers! It's time for day 30 of the 6-month Crypto Challenge.
We're 2 days into the second month here, and Mr. Techie will show you what's up today.
Hello people, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, and welcome from all across the world. It's good to see a lot of the regulars joining us yet again for another day of the Crypto Challenge. And today has been a very interesting day in the market, and we got to start with our daily tradition. We're going to come into our estimated value and realize that it hasn't actually gone up that much. But it still has gone up, so 1377 point, and I always forget the cents, 36. There we go. So we are up 1.63% from yesterday. At least we're heading in the right direction. However, let's have a look. Let's just take a quick gander at what Bitcoin has been doing. Too many notifications. Please go away. Thank you very much. Let's go. Let's check it out. So this here is our dearest friend Bitcoin. And this is currently the hourly chart, and if we put a vertical line where we left the stream yesterday, there we go. So what we can see is that Bitcoin went across, dipped below 11,000, tickled the number down here, went back above, and is currently hovering on this beautiful purple pinkish color, mauve, I don't know what color it is, line that we put in earlier at 11,000, and that is what Bitcoin has been doing. So we're fairly level with where we were yesterday in terms of Bitcoin value. You know, we're almost identical to where we were. So where did we make a little bit of money? In order to work that out correctly, what we need to do is we need to go through and update our trades. So we come here, let's just refresh this page, make sure it's the current and live version of it. I might just actually keep one of these guys always on the side so we can always switch back to him whenever we need. There we go. Maybe a little bit to the left. There we go. So let's just get this one here, and then we can bring this window and show our numbers. Let's update our trades and see who went up and who went down. So Walton, thankfully, is back heading in the right direction, currently at 0.0018055. So Walton is heading in the right direction, which is a good sign. If you guys remember, we didn't sell Walton, we held on because we wanted to see how it was going to react, and so far it reacted in a good way, so that is a positive for us. ICX, however, one of our longest holds, is still deciding to potentially go and find the bottom of the ocean, and it's still going down a little bit, but that's okay. It's not that much of an issue. OMG took a bit of a dip versus where it was yesterday. So yesterday we were actually in profit with OMG. Today we're at a little bit of a loss, which is a bit of a shame, and we didn't actually sell, which is something that in hindsight, again, the most valuable thing is hindsight. We should have actually sold, and that is why it was important to yesterday. If you guys didn't watch the stream from yesterday, you have to go and watch it, because we're not going to keep on repeating all the stuff again and again and again. But using the new strategy, we would have already sold that. So we're just going to monitor for now and see how it all goes. Wabi is currently at 0.001315. So it's okay. It's not too bad. IOTA went down a little bit from yesterday, and 17203. And then we have Ion went up a little bit, thankfully.
Hey, Techie?
Yes?
While you're here, I thought I'd mention someone in chat was asking about, with your change of strategy, what is your exit plan for all of your current holds? Do you plan on consolidating them or selling them when they reach a certain point, break even? What's your plan for that?
This is a very good question, because this is actually what I wanted to discuss with the team today before we came on stream. However, not everyone was available. Again, guys, the majority of these decisions are all team-based. They're not just kind of my own decision that I do. And this is one that I really wanted to discuss with the team to make sure then that we're all on the same page, rather than it just being one guy trading. And so as a result, everything's currently at a bit of a loss. I have a very, very good outlook on what the market will be like tomorrow. So tomorrow we may actually begin to sell off some of these coins. Walton, we're going to review each coin now and go through the process of checking up and seeing how healthy they actually are, and deciding what we will be doing on a per coin basis. So we might as well start with our dearest friend Walton. We can come here. Walton. So if you guys remember, Walton was... I'm getting more and more used to that shortcut now, which is a very nice feature. Walton was due to form a cup with a potential handle. However, it had that major issue, and then Walton kind of went for a swim. It has essentially kind of started what looks to me like a bit of a recovery. So instead of selling right now at maximum loss when it's all the way at the bottom, we're going to wait a bit till Walton gets into a bit more profit and then reanalyze the situation. So currently, technically, that is no longer applicable. This cup here is no longer applicable, and we're going to have to wait for some fresh technical analysis on here. I may potentially reach out to Until 1 Mil, the great TA guy, and say to him, Mr. Until 1 Mil, what is your opinion on Walton? I'm actually looking at potentially seeing how I could, consult with him a little bit more often regarding the challenge. So that is the current situation with Walton. Who else is in our list actually? Let's come down here. We want to check out ICX. So ICX, ETC. This is ICX. Okay. It has slowed down its rate of descent. Okay. And it's actually at not too bad of a point. Let me just put this line correctly here. We can make it bigger there. Okay. So as you guys can see, not really the most accurate of lines, but as a rough guide on the trend line of where it is going. The thing is, if we come up here now, we can untick that guy, and we can put in ICX. And then we can click search. ICX is due to have a bit of news this month. Okay, but it's more towards potentially the end of the month. It does say 31st of March or earlier, so it could happen at any time. I'm going to try and monitor ICX and, kind of just analyze the situation over the next couple of days and decide and see if this is something, if this date is potentially going to be closer, then we may hold on to it. Otherwise, I don't want to be holding on to it for 1 month, especially with the new strategy that we have, to have a coin that, that we're just going to hold on to 1 month in order to kind of just not make a loss on it. I would rather cut the loss and move on to something else and multiply that money during this 1 month. So again, I got to do a little bit more research into ICX to work out what exactly is going on with it and how we can mitigate the losses that we have had. Let's have a look at Wabi. Wabi was a great coin with a lot of potential, and Wabi has, some people will say it's the same pattern. Actually, it looks very similar, isn't it? Let's go to ICX and put them both on top of each other. Okay, not quite the same pattern, but it's a very similar pattern in a way. There's quite a few coins, guys, who are following this pattern here. Okay, if you have a look, there's almost a massive level of too many similar points, okay, between these coins. And what I'm trying to work out now is to see these coins and how or why they are forming this pattern and what their end game will eventually be. So Some people did say that this could just be a massive wedge. Meh, I'm not really, I don't know. It seems a little bit, you know, it hasn't really bounced off of too many points. You know, you could take a line from up here all the way down to here, and you've only bounced once, twice. You could move it down to a lower point here, you know, and you've still only bounced once, twice. So I don't know about this. I will have to consult with more knowledgeable people than myself. That's actually interesting that they are doing that. OMG. Let's have a look now at OMG BTC on Binance. Let's go to the hour. So OMG was looking very promising, and it gave us some good profits. At one point we had some good profits in OMG, but then it's kind of just been coming down recently, and it's a little bit of a shame that it's come down so much. Let me switch off this ICX, get rid of it completely. I don't know what has happened to OMG. Yesterday OMG was still looking quite promising. Yesterday when I was looking at this, I drew this line on my own chart, and I looked and I thought, okay, it may potentially bounce down here and come back up again. It bounced a little bit before that line, so I'm not sure if this is actually a bounce or not. And we will, you know, I will check it out again and just keep a close eye on it and see if this is going to be just a small part of its recovery, that it's going to bounce back up. We have, we did ICX, IOTA. IOTA has been weird. IOTA has been very weird. I don't know. I didn't actually expect it to come down this low at all. We could potentially apply something that I'm still experimenting with. So if there's anyone more experienced out there, feel free to correct me at any point. Which is the Fibonacci. Oh, not that guy. Uno, dos, tres. Where is this? There we go. Didn't I make a shortcut bar for this? I'm pretty sure I did. We could take from the bottom to the top there. Sir, please, thank you. IOTA, not really that much volume on IOTA as far as I remember. So I'm going to disregard the wicks as until 1 mil has suggested. So we could potentially see IOTA just have a little bit more of a bounce. We bounced a couple of times along this fib level over here. And then we finally broke through, and now we're looking at potentially bouncing off of here and coming back up again. That is as far as the TA that I can do on IOTA right now. I'm going to try tomorrow and sit down and do full TA on each of these coins that we hold, so we can determine whether it's worth just dumping and getting rid of it, or actually holding on for another couple of days and then selling at a profit. And then, of course, who else was it? Ion. I was actually having a look at Ion earlier on today, and I really did enjoy the fact that Ion looks like it is recovering quite nicely. How do I see that Ion is recovering? On the 15-minute chart, Ion has started its typical wave after wave. You know, that it likes to do, rather than just kind of like a flat line. So there is volume coming into IOTA if you compare the volume down here at the bottom. So this here was around the 28th of February, and how quiet IOTA was being, versus, you know, here's from the 1st of March, you know, and how noisy it's been getting. So IOTA, I believe I drew this line earlier on. Oops. There we go. So I had this line drawn earlier. May have actually been from 1, 2, moving along the line a bit right over here. So we can zoom in and just show you guys that beautiful bounce off the line here. Multiple times just bouncing on the line. Went up, came back down again. So IOTA, sorry, not IOTA, Ion. I do apologize, Samit. I do apologize. I made this mistake before, Jeff. It's the same damn mistake again with IOTA and Ion. So yes, Ion does look positive. Again, it had a long period of very quiet volume, and the volume has started to pick back up again over the last few days. So I'm happy about that, and it is a positive sign in my honest opinion. So, have I forgotten a coin? OMG, did we do OMG? Yes, we did. And we did Wabi. Okay. That is the coins that we currently hold. So, over the next 24 hours, I will be analyzing them on a per coin basis and trying to get as much possible TA to assist us in the decision of whether we dump right now and move on to something else, or whether we hold on to them for a little bit longer to extract some profits from them. Okay, guys on YouTube, if you have a question, please put a capital letter Q so I know it's a question addressed to myself. And if you're on the Discord server, please make sure you tag me with @MrTechie. Right, great, beautiful. Okay, thank you guys for watching. No, I'm just kidding. There wasn't actually much prepared for today, because today I have been busy preparing some stuff for Coin Week, which is what we will be doing in the next few days. However, there was Damilon earlier on spotted Lisk, and he was looking at Lisk, and
It
he
failed.
said, "You know what? Do you want to talk about it, Damilon?"
No, I initially thought that it might form a cup and handle, and then bought a position in it. And then when I saw it was breaking out of it, I sold my position. So I thought it broke down, and I didn't want to keep it because I don't want to risk it going down more. So I'm out of it.
Yep. Okay.
But I did want to talk about several other things. So if you want to continue this, I'll just come back to that when you're done.
Okay, so we're looking here at Lisk on the 15-minute. We can even increase it up to 1 hour. Oh, not 1 minute. Let's go like that. And we can see that there was potentially a cup forming on Lisk. However, it seems to have done exactly what Walton did, you know, arrive to this point here where it needs to continue to go back up and come back down again. So yeah, we're gonna, you know, we're gonna kind of have a look at what's actually going to be happening with this, you know, and so far it looks like it's failed to form this. It would have been actually a textbook cup, because in order for a cup to actually really technically kind of be a cup, it needs to have a nice run up before, rather than it just being flat and then dropping down and coming back up again. So this would have been a very nice cup. So it doesn't really look like it's gone that well. We've got a question here from 2 Coins 1 Cup saying, in Coin Week, will we go over new coins or the new coins we currently hold? No, in Coin Week we are going to be looking at how to research coins. That is what Coin Week is. And I know 2 Coins 1 Cup, you sent me your tool, which I'm going to try and discuss with you. We may have to do a call just to work on it and see how we can potentially kind of utilize it in a way. And we're going to look at how to research a coin for yourself, how to research the team, how to work out a lot of things, you know, and potentially, you know, looking at the potential value for a coin. It's subjective. That's one of the biggest things. Some people can believe one coin will go to $10. Other people will believe it'll go to $1 million. So we may not go into too much detail in that, but essentially how to research a coin and see if it's worth an investment or not. Jeff sent me a message saying maybe talk about calendar, the coins you have, and the releases will be there. Yeah. This is the other one, the CoinDar. Yeah, I might need to actually start to compare all of these different calendar things, because some of them are actually very, very interesting. So this here is another coin tool. You can literally, which is nice, you can add in all of the coins that you have. IOTA, OMG, ICX, And I believe that's all we have, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we could do search, and it can show you all of the events that are upcoming for the coin that you have, which is very nice. You know, for example, tomorrow there's not really an event, it's a conference in Toronto for OMG. Wednesday we're looking at Ion having a meetup. You know, it gives a nice little kind of color reference here. Generally conferences and meetups, they're not the biggest types of news. You want to look for something more like an airdrop. Usually does increase as well. You know, whether it's a test, release, swap, token swaps as well, exchange listing. But this is during Q1, so it's kind of getting a little bit far away. So yeah, I might start to use this tool. Actually, I have come across it before, and I do like it. And it's really handy just to put in all your coins and be able to monitor at any one time, which is great. Right, Damilon, what would you like to speak about, since you mentioned that you want to speak about something? So.
Yeah, a couple. So first of all, if you weren't aware, Litecoin is currently spiking. If you had purchased any Litecoin in the last few days, you're probably in profits right now. I'm not going to say sell it, but I just want to make you aware that it is up. So if you didn't have limit sells, you could at least take a look at the charts. So I had heard a lot of people calling earlier that it hit a double bottom, and they say made some purchases. So if you did just purchase it like low 200s, you're in good profit right now. So I expect it to go higher, maybe not right away, but Litecoin's kind of been stagnant for a little bit. So I'm expecting it to go further in the future. The other major thing is last night, someone asked a question about TRX. I've been watching TRX, and during the time of the stream, TRX had been listed on Bittrex earlier in the day. It had started forming a bull pennant, and I had told everyone that it should probably close sometime soon and to monitor it. And shortly after, basically the moment the stream ended, Trex shot up, Tronex shot up, I think, 10 to 20%. So I was just curious if anyone did monitor that bull pennant and bought in and made profits off that. Because if so, I'm very happy for you. And I just was curious if anyone actually took a look at it after and did buy in. So I never really make calls on coins. I don't like to tell people what to do, but it makes me happy to know if someone was paying attention and they made some money because I maybe helped them out. So if so, congratulations, because you probably made more money on it than I did. I did lots of small sells and buy back in, and instead of writing the whole thing. So,
but you also did something else interesting, isn't it? And experimented with something yesterday.
Oh yeah. So
do you want to talk about
that? So after I had made some profits on it, I did 3 different trades during those 2 big green candles going up, and I decided, I looked on Bittrex, and Bittrex was about, at the time, 200 Satoshis higher. So I decided to do an arbitrage test, and I bought 20,000 TRX and tried to send it to Bittrex to sell it. Unfortunately, Bittrex was behind in their block height. So by the time my confirmations got in, the price was basically where it was. So I broke even on the trade, but then I lost in fees. So it didn't work out for me. So usually when there's an arbitrage type of event, especially if you're using another exchange like Cryptopia, which I would never try to use for that. Bittrex is a little more stable, but it was behind last night. So I attempted it, and I lost a little money. So I still made money on my TRX profits earlier, but I would have been higher than I was if I didn't attempt that. If I actually would have just held it on Binance, it had bounced right back up, and I would have been able to sell it higher than where I sold it. So if any of you ever see an event like that and you're considering doing it, you basically have to do it immediately. Otherwise, it's probably going to be too late. So I just wanted to share with you that I tried that, and it wasn't, if it would have been 200 Satoshis higher on TRX at the time, I think it was like 480, and then something, it was at 700 or 600 something at the time. So that would have been a massive gain if I just could have sold it right away, but it took too long to get there. So it kind of evened out.
So
Glad to hear that Samet and Nelson made profits. Great.
Okay, that's great. For those of you who don't know what arbitrage is, arbitrage is when there's a difference in price between an exchange, technically in crypto, within different exchanges, and essentially you buy on one exchange and you send it over to the other one with the with the plan that once it arrives there, that you can sell it for a larger profit than where you bought it. Okay, so for example, if you bought 20,000 TRX and it cost you $1,000 yesterday, it would have cost more than that, but as an example, $1,000, and you sent it over to another exchange, then you could have potentially sold it for a higher price. Okay, and then you could have sent the money back and repeat that process. That is what arbitrage is. However, in the world of crypto, it's a little bit harder because of depending what the coin is, the transfer times can vary. But not only that, the actual exchanges can vary in their transfer times as well. And so as a result, unless there is a good possibility that there will be the price difference for a significant amount of time, then it may actually be difficult. And I definitely know that there are bots out there that do arbitrage in the crypto world, specifically between exchanges. They will monitor the price of various assets on different exchanges, and it will automatically, using the API, withdraw, send, sell, buy back, do this, blah, blah, blah. So, but again, it's not as profitable if you're trying to do it as a human, because by the time you've noticed, a lot of other people have noticed, a lot of other people try and do the same thing, and it may already be over by the time you actually get your coins in there. So that's
the second thing I was going to talk about. I should have done this in a different order. I have been looking at Stratus for a few hours because it looked like it was forming a very long pennant. Tronics last night was much shorter, and it just broke up. So I was wondering what was going to happen at the end of the pennant, and it did just break up. It doesn't have the volume that Tronics has, so you're not going to see the kind of candles, but I was hoping someone might get an opportunity to get a little bit of a profit there. So I had been looking at that and hoping it would. So it did break up, but I don't know how far it's going to go. It's the volume on this coin is much lower, so that usually it doesn't have that kind of momentum that those high volume coins have in this kind of scenario. So I have a short position in this. I'm trying to just make quick couple percent, and I'll be out again.
And I'll just say back on the arbitrage thing, I don't know how many challengers are Canadian, but Quadriga often has pretty good arbitrage opportunities, especially Litecoin and Ethereum. Quite often it's at least a few percent less almost at all times, so usually a quick buck.
Yeah, I didn't want to ever try that with the challenge. I wanted to stick to Binance, but
in Canada we can't fund with fiat apart from Quadriga and one other exchange, I think it is. So if you got to get money in, that's how you got to do it. So at least there's an arbitrage opportunity.
Yeah, so I'm not. I want to make sure you all, since I didn't get to tell you in time, I would not buy into Stratus now. I don't think it's going to go up that much. If it does, well, I'll eat my words. But if you could have gotten in right before, you could have probably made a couple percent on a quick flip. It's low volume, so I don't think it will go very far. But that's what I was going to talk about next.
Okay, so today for me it's been a bit of an interestingly slow day. I've been doing a lot of experimenting today. I like to experiment on days like this where Bitcoin or Ethereum are bouncing around up and down. I did some experimenting today. So no real major trades, just a few kind of random ones in profit, and that's it. I have been busy preparing some stuff for the challenge though, and just clearing up some other stuff out of my schedule, so I have a little bit more time to dedicate towards all of this. One interesting thing is that Ethereum, we can compare right now with BTC, with Binance. There we go. So as you can see, guys, while Bitcoin has been growing in the background, Ethereum has not been growing as much. Bitcoin is hitting higher highs, and Ethereum is just kind of bouncing around the same levels. This is something that I've been monitoring very closely, and I'm going to try and discuss with someone soon, just to try and work out what is happening with Ethereum and why, and what we can expect from it over the next few days. So Ethereum is due to go up significantly at some point, but it's now a case of how and when will it start that taking off. Can't remember what I was going to say. Yeah, so I know we mentioned Ethereum a few days ago. Just wanted to give a quick update on that. Zach saying, Mr. Techie, speaking of Stratis, have you compared its chart to Bitcoin 2017-18 chart recently? No, I haven't. I haven't done that. I don't really follow Stratis that much. I don't know why I'm on their mailing list. For some reason, I get emails from them every single day or every single couple of days, which is a bit annoying. Yeah, I think maybe Damilon is more. Well, actually saying, yeah, he's more in it just for a flip.
No, yeah, I'm literally just looking at the charts for it. I didn't look anything into the coin, and usually that's, I mean, for a quick flip, I usually don't care, but for a long hold, I always care about the project. That's really important. So, I was just following the bull pennant pattern.
Yeah. Sparky Mark was saying, look at OMG. Let's have a look. OMG BTC on Binance. Ooh, hello green. So this here is an interesting green candle on OMG, not your typical one. It has gone up 3.46%. Actually, I think I'm holding some OMG. I was holding some OMG while I was experimenting earlier on today. So that's actually a nice, interesting green candle. 3.46% in the space of kind of maybe half an hour. So that there is an interesting one. I will definitely monitor this and see how it pans out. Currently 17,000 Satoshis, or is that 17,000? Yeah, I believe it'll be 17,000 Satoshis. So it's an interesting number, and we will monitor it and see how it goes. Right, guys, we don't have, well, we've got plenty of time left on the stream, actually. But the stream is just meant to be a quick one. So if anybody does have a quick question that you wish to ask, then please put it in the chat. If you want to ask a question to the stream, please put capital letter Q, so I know it's addressed to the stream, especially if you are on YouTube. And if you're on the Discord server, please tag me and let me know. Jeff is just reiterating that yes, they are speaking at an event tomorrow. They are speaking at EdCon in Toronto, Canada. So if any of you guys in Canada are interested in going to EdCon, what is EdCon? And this is something as well that is always worth checking out, guys. You know, what is... maybe we should have just clicked on proof link. What is... why is this coming up with K and C?
They're there too.
Okay. So EdCon is the Ethereum conference. I just want a link to EdCon. There we go. So EdCon is the Ethereum conference. It's a very interesting one. Happens, I think, twice a year. Potentially someone knows a little bit more than myself. And it's interesting because it's not a high-profile event, but a lot of like it's not like a massive conference-style system. It's relatively small, but some really big people go there. So if you are interested in Ethereum, then this is definitely something that I would say try to catch some of the some of these speakers or try and see if you can find any streams from anything that's happening on there. Yeah, as you know, you would expect Vitalik to be there, the founder of Ethereum. But there's a lot of high-profile developers that go there. OMG will be speaking there as well. You'll find a lot of other major teams who will be speaking at these type of conferences. So sometimes it's worth just checking out what the actual event is, and this is something we'll cover this week during Coin Week. You know, what is the actual event? Because half the time, guys, if we come back to here, half the time, guys, a lot of these events are they're not actually events. They're more just kind of like meetups, and it doesn't really, you know, it's just a meetup. It's not really anything major. So yeah, OMG will be talking about OMG in EdCon. I did already check up the agenda. That's right, agenda. Sub-conference, super demo, social active. I saw somewhere that they will just be speaking about OMG and some of the stuff behind it. And that's it, basically. Yeah, I mean, you can see how small of an event it is. It's not really something major. So, thank you. Thank you for letting us know about the big, beautiful green on OMG, which has now turned red. But who cares? Got a lot of things right now on the Discord server. Okay, that's nothing relevant here. Okay, well, I don't see any questions from you guys. Dan did ask a question, and John answered Dan. Thank you very much, John. Does anyone know what is happening to Ven? John said they had a ton of news, and then they got pumped with news, and then sold after the event. They don't really have any events for a long time on their calendar, as far as I know. Yep, that, as far as I know about Ven, is correct. It was just a typical case of it got pumped for the news, and then dumped after the news, which is unfortunate. You know, so
look at that question.
So that's it. How many hot dogs do you eat on an average Saturday afternoon? Oh man, there's I'm gonna have to do a calculation here. So on an average Saturday afternoon, there's 52 Saturday afternoons, and I will eat on average 1 hot dog every 2 years. So 0.5 hot dogs divided by 52. There you go. 0.009615 Satoshi worth of hot dog on average per Saturday afternoon. Any other ridiculous questions, ladies and gentlemen?
That's that.
Oh God. Anyone else? Does anyone else here have a higher average per hot dog? Oh goodness.
Oh, that was an interesting statement. Cuba on here asked if you could make a public portfolio on Crypto Compare.
Okay, that is actually an interesting thing, guys. I've seen that question come up quite a few times from people to put up a public thing of what our trades are, or what our holds are. Can I ask why? That's the curious thing that's going through my mind. Why? What would the aim or what would the purpose of doing that be? Because I don't actually see there being any major use. If you're following along with a challenge for the lessons, which is the primary thing of the challenge, then you watch and you see and you follow. But if you just want to see exactly what we have so you can copy it, then I will avoid that. You know, we've mentioned several times that we'll go out of our way to avoid, allowing or enabling people to just be lazy. And the same thing with the sheet. When we made the sheet in the first episode, and lots and lots and lots and lots of people were like, "Where can I download it? Can't you just send it?" And it's like, no. It's not a case, you got to learn how to do these things yourself. So, Cuba, maybe you can let me know if there's an actual reason why, and yeah, if it's a valid reason, then I'll do it. But if it's just not, then yeah.
Yeah, like as far as if you were to give a whole list, it would be completely. You almost would end up with every coin on Binance because it depends on what you want. So there's of course the main coins everyone knows about: Litecoin, Ethereum, Neo, Bitcoin. But outside of that, okay, we have coins we like for longs, but for shorts, the coin really doesn't matter so much. So you just kind of look and see what TA says about each coin, and you're constantly looking all the time to see what's a good buy, what's oversold, what might be done consolidating, what might have big news the next day. So it changes all the time. So you can give a list of coins that we look at, but it would be really, really long. And a lot of times I'm just looking through every coin to see what all the data says about it before I make a decision. And then, it's you'd be changing those kind of portfolios constantly. And if you're just following it, you would probably miss out on whatever we were looking at. So unless it's a long, it doesn't serve much of a purpose.
Yeah. I mean, I just don't want people to end up just relying on reading what coins we're holding and then basing their movements or whatever it is based off of that. At the start of every single stream, we very, very clearly show our balance with the coins that we're holding. And you're welcome, at least as a minimum, you could go through and you could scroll to the beginning of things. But if there is an actual purpose, another purpose behind using a tool such as Crypto Compare, then I may consider it. But other than that, it's I don't particularly want to do it. Gank the Tank Jerome saying, do you know Germany won't tax crypto if used to buy stuff? Yeah, that article came out and a lot of people were like, yeah, great. Basically, Germany taxing crypto, it's fine. But it doesn't actually affect anything. It's just using crypto to buy stuff. Still, if you buy the crypto and you make a profit on the crypto, then you have to pay the taxes on it. Even if you buy one Bitcoin. So if you buy one XRP, okay? If you bought one XRP and by the time you spent that XRP to buy pizza, that XRP went up in value, you still have to pay taxes on the profit gained from that one XRP. So it's a little bit of a misleading thing that they're doing, trying to show, yeah, we are supporting the cryptocurrencies, yeah. But no, in actual fact, you still got to buy it, and if it goes up in price by the time you buy it, then technically you got to pay taxes on it. So that's not it's not that great. Okay, I don't see any more questions. Cuba came back saying, I'm not copying at all. I'm holding 30 coins since October and I don't touch them. No, I appreciate that. I appreciate that completely. I just wanted to know if there was any other reason why you wanted it to be on Crypto Compare. Like, is there some analysis that you would like to do? Is there something else that you would like to follow? Or what? Okay.
Okay, just sorry to cut you off there, Tucky. Ada's or Cardano's having a bit of a move right now for anybody who's in it. I know there are some challengers that bought some.
Nice.
So let's have a look at ADA.
Oh yeah, got some.
Cardano, Bitcoin.
I'm looking at ETH, but they're both moving.
Yeah,
should be nice.
It's a little bit of growth.
It's making up for the shit or the poor time that it's had the last few days.
IB John.
Well, Cardano has a roadmap update coming out 5 March, so prepare that it will go up and be dumped on the news.
Yep. If any of you did buy in a few days ago into Cardano, then yeah, this could be a great sign or a great time for you to potentially monitor and see if there is any potential to sell or short it or do anything else with it. Litecoin got pumped so hard, got so heavy hour, wait for this dump. Okay, a lot of people.
It's dumping already.
Oh god. LTC, USDT, Litecoin has been very interesting. Very, very interesting, to be honest. Not really dumping yet. I mean, it jumped up 5% in 1 hour. Yeah, it's okay. Could just be a mini correction, or it could actually just come back down again and bounce off of this trend line that has bounced off quite a few times. Or it could just go sideways. This is Litecoin. It likes to do this, kind of arching around. Various size arches. So yeah, it could maybe just do another smaller one. Actually, let's let's do something interesting here. Actually, then we go up to the 60. So we could potentially see... No, I'm not happy with that. Could potentially have something of a larger wedge coming in, or something coming in somewhere. I know Day Trading Wizard is fascinated by LTC and is a big kind of TA guy on LTC. You can go check him out on the CoinVX server. He's always hanging around there and asking what he thinks of LTC right now and what he believes will happen. Alright, I don't really see any more questions, guys. No more questions. I do, however, see some messages from Jeff. Ethereum KNC drop. Don't tell me that, Jeff, while I'm streaming, man.
Yeah, that was for you personally.
Oh, man. Ooh. Hello, Morto. Okay, that is not a good sign. I've been monitoring this all day, guys, because there was a wall at this level here, and it bounced off of the wall so many times. Each of these candles is 15 minutes, so for the period of, for a period of, I don't know, kind of 3 or 4 hours, it was just continuously bouncing off of that line. It's quite low volume, to be completely honest. It's not a high volume coin, but it bounced off of that quite often, and it looks like since the stream started, as usual, whatever I'm holding decides to take an absolute shit, which is beautiful to see. I gotta check.
This time, Bitcoin has been up the entire stream.
That is true. That is true. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to go back and reanalyze my position on this. I was doing actually an experiment on it, and I gotta see how the results of the experiments have happened. But yes, that's it, ladies and gentlemen, for today. I think we all shared our... Did we share our trades? Anyone else want to share if you haven't shared?
Oh, I just bought some coins, KNC.
Where did you buy at?
Well, I was trying to buy low, but there was no movement, and I really wanted to get in because the wall was gone, and it was due to go up, and I bought at let me see, I bought at 211010 on the Ethereum pair.
211010.
Yeah.
2110. I've got 04. So about this level here. Yeah, it's okay. It's still perfectly fine. KNC is KNC bounced, and then it came back up, and it bounced again. This is only on the Ethereum pair, but on the Bitcoin pair, is where it was actually interesting, in the fact that it was creating a double bottom around this level here, and obviously it's broken down below it right now, but that's still okay. It's just moved the TA around ever so slightly. We may potentially, just as a random kind of thing, we could potentially go down a little bit lower and bounce off of somewhere. In terms of fib, I'm not going to do any fib on this because it's been going down for a while, but this is actually following a similar pattern to... Who were the other coins that we had a similar pattern on? Wabi, wasn't it? So let's have a look and see how Wabi's doing. Do we have an... was it Wabi? Can't remember the coins that we were monitoring now that look the same. ICX, I know, was one of them. So I just want to check now and see if all of these coins are doing the same thing. Oh god, everything's messed up now. There we go. Is he starting to drop as well? No, he looks okay. Alright, yeah, well, blah blah blah, hoop-de-doo. We're going to have to go and analyze this situation. So guys, thank you for tuning into the stream. Tune in tomorrow. If you haven't already, click the subscribe button, click the bell next to it so you get notifications. Follow us on Twitter. Join the Discord server. So you can chat with us. Feel free to send me a message or any questions on the Discord server. Other than that, we'll catch you all tomorrow. I gotta go because I gotta make a trade. Haha. Take care.
Goodbye, guys.